If you go out right now and you Google the words goals or motivation, you will be inundated with a plethora and an absolute abundance of information, quotes, videos, vision boards, all sorts of content out there telling you to dream bigger, to be more expansive. But what I have found through my own personal experiences is that there's not much advice telling you how to actually take these massive broad goals and break them down into a step-by-step process. So today, I just want to talk to you about a little acronym that I've come across in my employment that's helped me in my life. It's helped me in work, it's helped me in my life, and it's helped me to take these massive goals that I have sometimes and to break them down into something more achievable. And the acronym is called SMART. Now, you may have heard this before, but I'm going to go over it again, and hopefully, for those of you who haven't heard it, some of this may stick and resonate with you and help you to take some of your goals and actually get them done. So the acronym is quite simple. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound or targeted, right? And it's just a lens through which you can kind of give your goals a bit of a sanity check to make sure that you can get them done. All right. So to start off with, the first part of the acronym is the S. The S stands for specific. Now, what that means is when you're making your goal, you want to make it a specific goal rather than a broad, expansive, huge goal, like a wide open-ended goal that's really hard to hit. So for example, I want to lose weight. That is a non-specific goal. Like, how much weight? It's very difficult to ascertain whether or not, or to put milestones and balances in place to know whether or not you're actually going to hit your goal. So to make that specific, you'd want to just change that to, I want to lose a stone. Yeah, that's a very specific goal. I want to lose 1 stone. And in changing that goal, in just tweaking it, we've also made it measurable, because now, rather than just losing weight, which is just any vague amount, now you've made it measurable in that you'll know you've hit your goal when you lose the 1 stone. Not 2 stones, not 3 stones, not 4 stones. Those are all bonuses, right? 1 stone means you've hit your target now. The next part is the achievable part. Achievable is, can you actually lose the stone? You know, well, in this instance, if we're looking at weight here, losing the 1 stone, and to be fair, this is quite relevant to me. I could probably do with shedding a stone. I need to go gym and tone up, right? So is this achievable? Well, yeah, it is. I can lose the stone. That's within my control. That's within my ability to do. You know, I can up my exercise, or start my exercise in my case. I can drop my food content. Well, I can try and drop my food content. You know what I mean? Like, that can be quite tough sometimes, especially this time of year. But it is achievable. That takes us to the R, realistic. Okay, so is it realistic for me to lose that stone? This is the part where people go wrong, right? Because 99 times out of 100, it is realistic to lose that stone. However, were you in hospital, or if you're recovering from some form of illness, if you're going through something in your life that's traumatic at the moment, you know what? This is where you have to be really honest with yourself and say, is it realistic for me to attempt to do this now? And that leads us into the last section, which is the T, which is targeted or time bound, which is when do you want to lose it by? And the T and the R really go together. How realistic it will be for you to achieve your goal is directly linked to the amount of time you give yourself to do it. Now, I've used this many times at work, and it's one of the few things from work. That's not true. It's one of the many things from work that I've gained that has actually spilled over into my actual life and helped me to get things done. Whenever I'm thinking about goals and tasks, I always start to break it down almost subconsciously now into SMART objectives. It's no longer, I'm going to make 10 million pounds. It goes from, I'm going to make 10 million pounds to, right, I'm going to take that 10 million, I'm going to break that 10 million down over to the course of months. So how many months, if I take £10 million and I divide that by 12 months, how much is that? If I then take those months down and I break that down by 30 days, how much do I need to make a day? If I take my daily amount and I break that down by hours, how much do I need to make an hour? If I can take the hour down and break that down into minutes and work out like, right, in order to make my 10 million, I need to earn ... per hour in order to make it. That now is making my goal really specific. Now, it may not be achievable or realistic. However, if you can get it specific at the beginning and you can start breaking it down into its little component parts, all of a sudden, £10 million actually turns into, I don't know, what is that, £1,000 a day? I just want to make it abundantly clear that £10 million is not £1,000 a day. I repeat, it is not £1,000 a day. And now you're giving yourself a different challenge, which is not how do I make 10 million, it's how do I make £1,000 a day? That gives you a tool to be able to frame your problem differently and actually go, okay, so in order to make £1,000 a day, do I sell 1,000 things at £1? Or do I try and sell one thing for £1,000? And you start to reframe the whole situation differently, just getting more specific, more precise, more laser focused. And the more you do that with your dreams, the more you do that with your goals, the more you actually take it from the realm of fantasy and bring it into the realm of reality, the more achievable it becomes, the more likely it is that you're going to do it, and the more goal orientated you will find yourself. I've done this process with myself many a time. This time last year, I gave myself the goal of firing the company I was working for. That was my goal. I am going to fire the company that I work for. I broke it down. What's that going to look like? How am I going to do it? When am I going to do it by? How determined am I to get it done? I made sure that it was smart. I made sure my goal got very specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And you know what? Within 2 months of starting the new year, I'd fired my company. I fired them. Now, some of you may be hearing me say I fired my company and thinking, what do you mean you quit your job? Like, that's up to you. How you want to frame it is how you want to frame it. You can quit your job. Me, I fired the company. They no longer met my expectations. And so, you know what? I had to let them go. I let my company go. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to save that for another recording on another day. So listen, smart targeting, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. As you're making your plans, as you're writing down your vision, as you're making it plain, as you're doing your vision board, once you've got the big goal, use that acronym to break it down into little steps. And I promise you, if you break it down into little steps, it will work for you. And if you need a little help doing that, by all means, drop me a message. My email is king@blackhistorybuff.com. All right, take care. Have a good day, or night, or evening, or middle of the night, or dusk, or dawn. Peace.